Hello, everybody. It is I, Mario Mijares. Just gonna make a quick video, talk about the astrology going on right now. Today, tomorrow, very special days, very important days, all the days. The astrology is always happening. The planets are always moving, and there's always communications. Well, right now, the moon is in Gemini at 4 degrees, creating a sextile to Saturn in Aries at 4 degrees. And the sun is currently at 3 degrees Aries. So in 24 hours, the sun will meet with Saturn. This is an annual meeting. This is an annual conjunction when the sun meets with Saturn. And astrologically, that is considered the most serious day of the year. Serious as in Saturn being the planet that puts pressure on us to have goals and strategize and work hard towards things in life. Saturn is grandfather energy. Saturn is also karma and the Green Reaper. Saturn is rules, discipline, structures, oppression, limitation, and authority. And every time when the sun meets with Saturn, the sun representing our conscious awareness of ourselves, of our spirit. So when the sun meets with Saturn, it is a day, and we're in it right now. The sun is conjunct Saturn right now. However, the apex, the totality of this conjunction will be tomorrow. And then the day after, the sun will continue on to 5 degrees, and that energy will begin to fade away. So we're in this space now of us needing to really take a sober, serious look at our lives. Thinking about how much time we have left, how much time we have used already, and to look at how your life is currently structured, reflecting on things you have going on, and really taking a honest look at it so you can see where you're heading based on what you're doing right now. And you may have some reality checks where you realize you're doing nothing. You realize you're wasting a lot of time. You realize you're not really optimizing and valuing or respecting what you have and what you're capable of doing. So it's normal. It's normal for to experience sort of some melancholy, some agitation or frustration with oneself during the Sun-Saturn conjunction. But I don't really see it that way this year, this time around. There could be a little bit of aggression, a little bit of violence inside of all of us right now. But I don't mean violence as in like killing and attacking. I just mean some aggression. And that's okay. But with the moon in Gemini, because Gemini is very lighthearted, free-spirited, and intelligent. Gemini is very intelligent mentally. And so I think the moon in Gemini is going to support us to not take ourselves so serious, or more so to not allow us to be too hard on ourselves as we come to a new awareness of how unstructured and undisciplined we may be in life, and it's just sort of more like, whoa, I guess I really should, get my shit together, stop smoking weed, and, apply myself harder in the gym because I'm wasting too much time, or, I could be making a whole lot more money on my online business if I just schedule 2 hours a day to have focus into that. And I'm not doing that. No problem. I'll start doing it instead of like, oh man, I'm wasting time. I'm a piece of shit. I'm not getting anything done. Anyways, so the moon in Gemini is supporting our minds to go through all of the awarenesses that we're having right now. And what's important with this is to express. With moon and Gemini, you want to express, communicate, okay? And especially with Mercury still at 8 degrees conjunct the North Node at 8 degrees. And Mercury has been conjunct the North Node for about a week now. And I think by the end of the day, or maybe even tomorrow, Mercury will finally be at 9 degrees Pisces instead of 8 degrees. So Mercury's been there for a week, and that's because he was retrograde. He's stationed at 8 degrees, and Mercury takes time to now move forward. So North Node, that's destiny, that's fated, that's the future, right? And Mercury, the mind, information, communication. So for a week, as Mercury has been with the North Node, our minds have been aligning ourselves to receive destined or fated messages, or expanded awareness of where we should be heading in life. Getting messages from the universe, dreams, symbols, synchronicities. So over this past week, you may have been shifting your perspective on things, right? And my chickens are acting crazy right now. But don't get distracted. Don't distract me, chickens. So Mercury moving forward, and we still have Mars in Pisces, and with the Sun and Saturn in Aries, like we're experiencing a morale boost with the Sun in Aries. The Sun in Aries is igniting fires, but Mercury is still in Pisces, no longer direct. So there is still a little bit of being checked out, not 100% really here or present, because our minds are kind of still in between worlds. We're still kind of sleeping. We're still kind of dreaming, because we're preparing subconsciously for what we're going to be stepping into moving forward for the rest of the year. Which is why I think right now, as the Sun is in this conjunction with Saturn, is we're having to think about the future, where we're going, where we're heading, and what we want to do. And as we're thinking about the future and coming to terms and understandings of what that means, and how we need to plan for that, how we need to strategize for that, and how we need to be properly using our time, the Mercury in Pisces, and with the Mars in Pisces, it's us kind of processing that subconsciously before we can actually step into that mode, that function, that embodiment of now going. It's meditating, it's meditating on that, and that Mars and Pisces. Like, I have a Mars and Pisces, and for Mars and Pisces, they have to, when the Mars is in Pisces, we have to really feel through all dimensions and realms about something before we can actually move forward into that action. And sometimes with Mars and Pisces, we can stay too long in that energy of feeling things out before we initiate. So, we're that's what we're doing. We're still feeling things out. We're having to think, process, and really be sure. We have to really be sure that this desire, that what we're wanting to do is actually it. Yeah. And about another week or so, Actually, I think we might have almost a whole other month. I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe 2 to 3 weeks max of Mars in Pisces. And we have about another whole month of Mercury in Pisces. So gradually, while the sun is in Aries and Mars and Mercury catch up to enter Aries, these planets are going to have to cross that vortex point of where Neptune and Saturn had their conjunction. And so going into April, we're going to continue to get these bursts and these boosts of energy to just run with the things. And it's not that it's just happening all of a sudden and now all of a sudden I'm running with it. No, we're planning it, we're meditating, we're gestating, we're dreaming, we're feeling, we're letting go. That Pisces new moon last week was, fuck man, I was in my feels last week with that, with coming to the end of that Pisces transit and that Mercury retrograde transit. A lot of and this happens for me every year, right around the Pisces new moon, where just a lot of the things I've been through in my life, especially in my childhood, kind of comes up for me to feel. Just about every Pisces season for the last, I don't know how many years, I have to cry at least one time. I have to cry at least one time to shed those tears, to release those waters, to release that pain, that memory in the water, in the cellulars. And that's why Pisces is so powerful, allowing us to experience our sensitivities and cry. It's powerful spiritually, but yeah, lot to look forward to. Later on today, towards the end of the day, Mercury is actually going to oppose Black Moon Lilith in Sagittarius. And this is going to be really interesting because where they're going to be in this opposition is actually re-triggering the energies that were going on during 2020 when the North Node was in Gemini and the South Node was in Sag. Because in 2020, when the nodes were in those positions, Black Moon Lilith was in Gemini. Black Moon Lilith was in Gemini, and I forgot what was in Sag during that time. There was an energy in Sag that I can't remember with the North Node. But anyways, this moon opposite Black Moon Lilith going on today it's triggering and tickling those eclipse points that were going on in 2020, 2021. So that's an interesting comeback around to things that you broke through during that time of 2020. And with the Black Moon Lilith in Sag and the moon in Gemini, there's a freedom. There is an opening and a freedom that is inviting an aspect of ourselves that wants to come out and play, and emerge. A part of ourselves that we might usually suppress or keep in a box because it might be a little bit more wild or socially too much for others. And so this is a supporting energy to help you break the what's the word, to shake things up for you to become, get out of my tea. Anyways, I lost my train of thought there. So during this Black Moon Lilith opposition, this will also be forming, a mutable grand cross with the North and South Node. And the thing I always say about mutable grand crosses is magic. Magic is happening. And the source of magic when it comes to the mutable energy, in my opinion, is your perspective. Changing your perspective. Because if you can change your perspective, if you can change your belief, you can change what you're focusing on, you can change your reality, you can change things. So with all that being said, and the fact that we're going through this mutable grand cross and we're moving through the annual Sun-Saturn conjunction, really take yourself serious. Take your life serious. Take what you want serious. This is in Aries, you know, new energies in Aries. So what type of new life do you want for yourself? Doesn't matter how old you are. What new experiences do you want to be having in life? What do you want? So this is, and the thing that's serious about Saturn is it puts the pressure for us to strategize, to plan. So like for example, my wife has got she's got more Saturnian strength in her than me. I mean, I got my Mars in Pisces, so I need a lot more time before I step into actions. But the moment she comes up with a desire and something that she wants, she's already boom, boom, boom. She's already made a list. She's already looked up websites. She's already made phone calls, and she's already scheduled things in her calendar. Okay, and that's what's next for us as we're moving through this Saturn energy. It's like, okay, if you are inspired from your heart, you feel a desire, and the Mercury in Pisces conjunct the North Node, if you're receiving a new divine awareness from your higher selves, and you feel the guidance and the support by spirit to move in this direction, okay, then as we're moving through this Sun-Saturn energy, like, make the phone calls, make the schedules, come up with the plan, and take some action. And you may feel like, oh, I'm not sure, like I recently hired somebody to work on my website, to install a new software program, and it's something that I know I want to do for my website, a new service to offer to you guys. But there is, I was a little overwhelmed. I was like, I don't, and it wasn't really anything much. It was more so like, I don't want to sit down here and learn something new. And I hate fucking admin work and that, and I have to pay this person. I'm not sure if I want to give up that money yet, and and so it was just like, I had to get over myself and be like, these are good things. These are things that I know are going to serve me, and so just fucking do it, and you'll see what happens over time. Over time, you'll see, man, I'm glad I did this. Man, I'm glad I didn't fucking resort to my old ways of saying, no, fuck it. And then instead of using that money, for paying this person and buying this new software, I used the money to, I don't know, take my wife out on a date instead, which that's it. So anyways, there's a lot more I want to say. I wanted to do this on my computer so I can be more focused and show you the charts and dive deeper into it. But it's been a while since I've made an astrology video, and it's spring. It's a beautiful fucking day, and I got a lot of shit I need to do around my property. We got our first Airbnb guests that are coming to stay, which is nice. But just to recap and conclude, the first few days of this week, especially with the moon is in Gemini, sit down, think, look at your life, look at your finances. Where do you want to go? What is it that you want? What current things frustrate you? In what ways can you allow yourself to have an attitude adjustment, change your perspective, and also allow yourself to have dreams, to have desires for yourself. I'm dreaming up new dreams for myself. Okay, I'm working on rebranding myself from being, a intuitive psychic astrologer to, a life strategist. okay? Because that's what I am an astrologer. I am psychic. I am very fucking intuitive, and I'm good at what I do. But I'm also a consultant and a strategist for your life using astrology, using psychic gifts. And that's what we're here. We're recreating our identity. And Peace Dealer already said this, so shout out to you, Peace Dealer. I don't know if you ever tune into my shit or watch my shit. You probably think I'm fucking wackadoodle or whatever, but we're recreating. We are reimagining ourselves here with this Aries energy. Okay. With that being said, peace.